The kids have practiced well. We got into film and evaluated, players, and they evaluated themselves. Some saw their mistakes and, corrected those this week in practice as well. And, we're looking forward to the next one. Our backs are a little bit against the wall, with the loss. We do need to probably win out, or at least, win, 9 of these last, 10 games to get into the playoff. Our goal is still to win a conference championship, whether that's sharing it or winning it outright, is our goal in getting to the playoffs. So our kids are still been focused. They've been locked in. They put in the film hours that they need to. They've been preparing, in their playbooks and scouting reports. And, there was a little bit of a hangover, but our kids are over that. Looking forward to the next one, and, just another great opportunity to play a great football team. It is, and it's just, the character of our kids. They want to win. That's their determination. They want to do those things. They want to be successful, and, we've done that, the last 4 or 5 years, and this group of young men have won a lot of ball games, and, we do expect to win every game. We do expect to win the conference, and that's just what's ingrained in our kids. That's how we play. That's our goals, and they've done a good job of it. When I first got here, we got beat 70 to I think 14, against Northwest my first year here, and now it's to the point where we expect our kids to win that ball game, and they expect the same things, and they know it's going to be a battle, week in and week out. So now you look at the last 4 games. There's not much that really much scoring, between both teams, or let alone difference between the teams in that game, and just a few little things, in that game. Field position was huge. When you start, 8 possessions inside the 10-yard line, and 3 of those are inside the 2. It's hard to make things happen when you drop balls, as well, when they could have been big plays or a big part of it, and just not changing that field position, with our special teams. And I thought defensively we played well. Just need to do a better job on first down. But, I'm proud of our kids, the way they fought in that game. They fought continuously. They didn't give up. They didn't quit, which a lot of teams in that situation would, especially when Northwest went up, but our kids didn't. They fight, they battle, and they keep doing whatever they can to win the ball game. And we had opportunities, every time, we go back and watch film. The opportunities are there. We just didn't capitalize on them. And, it's just a few things here and there that if we take advantage of those situations or make those plays, it's probably a totally different ball game. We had a lot of plays that could have been made in that game that we didn't make. And I thought defensively, they gave us enough opportunities, offensively to make those things happen. But again, it's a long field to drive, but that's no excuse, by us. We still expect our kids to go 99 yards, 98 yards, whatever it is, and score points, or at least get ourselves out of those situations so we can change field position. And, we really didn't do that. But, I think we'll be all right. I think our kids will keep focused, keep locked in, and do whatever they can to win out. But, we still got to work, we still got to win this first one here. I think so. I think that's with any, offense. You want to get your run game going first, and then that'll set up your pass game. I think we have the guys up front, on the offensive line that we should be able to establish a run game, every single game. And, it's our back seeing the holes better, and hitting them harder. Probably a little bit on our double teams and getting those D linemen off the ball as well. But I do feel like we have the pieces to the puzzle there. I feel like this is the most depth we've ever had at the offensive line since I've been here. And, I think we just need to keep trying to establish it. And the only way you do it is by doing it. And, so we got to continue to live and breathe by it and ingrain it in our kids and get the job done. It was exciting. Usually you're pretty nervous before a game, but it was just the excitement of being able to play that game again. And, I think you had around 6,400, here, at our game. And just hearing them cheer. The student section was huge. I think it was just the excitement, amongst the community itself of, hey, we have Tiger football, again, and it's here. And, they were loud. There were some moments there that, I really could hear myself through my headset, and I love that. That's just brings, more intensity to the game, more excitement to the game, and, hopefully we continue, building on that, and, hopefully next time we got 8,000, then to 10,000. I want that thing to keep growing and growing and growing, so hopefully we have to build a new stadium someday. They're really good, defensively. They return a lot of guys, on their defense. The D-line's pretty good. The secondary's, very talented. The linebackers feel really well on the run. And that's their main thing, is to stop the run, defensively. And again, we're wanting to establish that. So hopefully we can get that established. But I think they're very, very talented, on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, a lot of new faces. The quarterback did play, a little bit, in 2019, and he's a good football player and makes some good reads and sees some things well, and skill-wise, a lot of new faces, on that side of the ball, and they played well in game one against UCO, but just not enough plays to win that ball game. But I feel like our defense is talented enough to hopefully stop their offense. They've done some great things offensively, but I feel like we got some very talented guys on defense that really put the time in, that they need to stop this offense, and that's with film preparation and scouting reports and the game plan that Coach Harris has put together. Our kids know it's important. They've been through this enough times. They understand how important each game is, in this conference, and they know right now, we do have our backs against the wall, and every win's important for us to get into the playoffs, and they know it just starts with this step right here. So hopefully, we go in there and do what we need to do and take care of business. When you look at 2018 and 19, it just, we had a lot of turnovers inside the red zone in both those games, and turnovers killed us. We even had a punt, one of those games that hit a linebacker in the stomach, and he ran, at their place and ran in for a touchdown. So it's always been just those mistakes that have killed us in this ballgame. I think our defense has played well enough. It's just offensively, capitalize on situations and not turn the ball over, and get it in the end zone, let our defense get up there on the field and get the ball back to us. So mistakes, when you look at that, we got to eliminate those mistakes, and we'll be fine. I think we're pretty close to know which five are our guys, and there's still a couple guys that we want to fill in and get them some reps as well, because you do want to keep those guys healthy, and you do want to keep them fresh throughout the game. So there'll still be some rotations amongst that group to see who the guy truly is. But right now, I think we've got a good idea of who our guys are, and we're going to run with those guys that we think are our top guys right now. It's a tough road. He's been out of the game for probably about three years now, and it's hard to come back and play that first game, knocking the rust off, being in that situation again with the intensity level, and and your first game being Northwest, which is a big one, which is a lot of pressure as well, and wanting to make the plays. I think he put so much pressure on himself to make some things happen that he dropped a few balls, but I think as the year goes on, that rust will come off, and he'll get better week in and week out. He's a good football player. He can make things happen, but we got guys around him as well. We got great tight ends. We got, other great receivers as well. We got great running backs. We've got a great offensive line. So, we just don't want to put all the pressure on him to win these ball games. But I think, adding him to it, makes our offense better. And as time goes on, he'll get better. Just communication and talking, and there's having this opportunity that came upon us where, he had a 2-year sit-out rule, and he's been out a few years. So, and having just some discussions with him as well about what he wanted to do. And, with that being said, great opportunity for us and a great opportunity for him. So we took advantage of it, and, we brought him back and trying to see what he can do. And I just think as this year goes on, he's going to be better, and he's going to help this team out. Yeah, and the chance, he's a perfectionist. He wants everything to be perfect. He thinks every throw he makes, should be a perfect throw, and in reality, that doesn't happen. He feels like every ball should be caught. If it's not caught, it's his fault, but that's kind of just how Chance is. He puts a lot of time and effort into, preparing himself for these games, and sometimes you put too much pressure on yourself, and, you don't perform the way that you should. I still think he's one of the best quarterbacks in this conference. If not, I probably think he is the best, in this conference. And, as weeks go on, he'll loosen up and relax. I feel like this week he'll bounce back and do the things that we know he can do, because it's Chance, and he's a competitor. He wants to compete. He wants to win, and he's going to do everything he can to win those ball games. I thought they did pretty well. It's still that first game, as a Tiger, and we've been having all these practices, but it's nothing like game time, against the number 4 team in the country. So you throw them to the fire pretty quick. But that being said, I thought they did a good job. There's still some things that they can work on, to make themselves better, getting themselves in better position. But I think for game 1, they did well. As this year goes on, they're only going to improve and get better and get more comfortable, in that secondary. And, and Miles is going to feel better about, filling gaps when he needs to fill gaps, and run over blocks and taking on blocks when he needs to make tackles. So that just comes with time, especially Miles. He played quarterback in high school. This is a big transition for him from going from quarterback to linebacker, to playing in one of the top conferences, in Division II. So, he'll get there. I feel like those 3 young men are going to be very good players for us. And, they got a great D-line in front of them. That's going to help them out as well to put pressure on the quarterback and keep those those linemen, from getting up to the second level. So, I think they'll be fine. And as this group goes on, and this defense plays a little bit more together, I think they're going to be, one of the toughest defenses that a team's going to face, throughout the year.